Stephen is in a coma, Krystle has a long lost niece, and Dr. Nick is having flashbacks. Welcome to Dynasty. So this is episode 5, series 2. At the end of the last episode, Stephen took a head dive into the pool after an angry drunken confrontation with his father, bangs his head down the pool, Dr. Nick saves the day, and we start this episode with Stephen in a coma. And it's the I love you, nothing matters now.
We've had our differences, but it doesn't matter now.
This happens a lot in soap opera where, you have conflicts, you have tough things going on. But if anybody is in an accident or almost dies or has a coma, then none of that matters. We love each other and we'll move forward. But it's never about resolving the conflict in the first place. So as soon as everybody's well and healthy, the conflict comes up again and again and again. Nothing ever gets resolved. Blake clearly doesn't realise that for it all to be in the past, it has to, A, he has to accept that his son is gay, and B, maybe he shouldn't have murdered his son's lover. But Stephen's in a coma, what's he gonna say? So everybody's very distraught, and you can tell, Blake's ruffled hair. That's how you know Blake's distraught. It isn't sheened and combed to perfection. And we must note that Jeff, his way of showing distress is open collar. And if he's really distressed, it's open collar with tie dangling. But his hair's perfect. It is perfect whether he's happy, he's sad, he's angry, he's distressed. Doesn't matter what's going on. So for information about how he's feeling, you've got to look to his collar. Dr. Nick in his magnificent velour suit, very distracting. I don't know, I find it very hard to concentrate on anything else when he's in that suit. He takes Krystle off home and they stop off for a coffee. Even better than the meandering story about Ashkenazi.
Oops, a 2, oops, a 4.
We have tenuous link of the episode. So we're talking about piano. He mentions he can't play with his right hand, but doesn't say why, and then spins that over into...
Since we're on the subject of hands, why don't we talk about yours? The bum hand you feel you've been dealt, as they say. The one that's bothering you right now. Alexis?
And thus begins aggressive therapy time.
Don't interrupt me when I'm on a hot roll, and never ever interrupt me in Ashkenazi.
Krystle smiles at him. She should be smacking him one or at least dropping the hot espresso in the man's crotch. I know nobody wants to ruin that lovely velour suit, but really, he needs to know he's got to rein this stuff in. Not that he ever does, it just gets bigger and better. I think my favourite line of the episode is when Dr. Nick says,
The first Mrs. Carrington. Sounds like the title of a trashy novel.
Trashy novel. No one's life will be left untouched when Alexis returns. So this is Alexis Returns, a novelisation. This is a UK edition. I'm guessing this was available everywhere. And jolly good fun. Check out that hair. The lives, the loves, the blistering scandals of America's most tempestuous family, the Carringtons. Okay, guess this noise. One more time. Any clues? It's Stephen coming around.
What happened?
Alexis is thrilled Stephen's out of the coma. She's back at the mansion getting everything ready and has this great line to say to Krystle.
Well, you don't have to stand there and wither. Come on in.
A bit of gypsy couture for Alexis Casual this week. Are you ready? Welcome to Dynasty, a character as delicious as Alexis. And with hair like this, she could only be the niece of Krystle. So with a flick that could take your eye out, welcome Miss Sammy Jo Dean.
Thanks for the lift, Pop.
That dismount in those heels is very impressive. So the character is played by fabulous Heather Locklear, so you will have seen it in a million other things. I mean, she's very successful, but for me, she will always be Sammy Jo. She played it with great fun, even if we just celebrate her for the ability to wear those shorts. I mean, we talked in an early episode about the whole flat bum being the look of the 80s, with 80s flat button all. Miss Heather Locklear, you look great. Okay, you ready for this? Sammy Jo's father, Frank, was married to Krystle's sister who has since died. Her name was Iris. He never stayed in contact with Krystle, so she hasn't really seen her niece for many, many years. So we get our second long-lost relative of the season. Claudia gets some more uninvited therapy from Nick. As they go for a walk, they pass this swing. Now this swing belongs in a Georgette Heyer Regency novel. It is a swing with vines, it's a wooden slat, it's ropes, it's hanging from a tree. She's trying to ignore Nick the best she can, but he's not going away. Anyway, she spots this swing. What better way to ignore your unwelcome therapist than to have a wistful sway on a swing?
It's all right. You'll be gone in about 15 minutes, back to your other patients.
At last!
Will you stop talking to me like I'm a child?
Well, I'm not getting anywhere with you as an adult.
Claudia, you've come alive. Brilliant. Somebody's telling aggressive Dr. Nick where to go. Stephen's back from the hospital. He's back in the Carrington mansion. And in a line that could easily go unnoticed, Blake says,
Oh, Stephen, I thought it'd be best if we gave you another room. Is that all right with you?
That's good.
I had to think about it for a minute. I didn't pay very much attention to it, and then I suddenly thought, well, why does he want another room? Because Blake murdered Ted Denard in that room. Murdered, accidentally killed, manslaughter. Anyway, Stephen's ex-lover died in that room. So moving across the corridor makes that all fine. Because, as Blake says,
We've had our differences, but it doesn't matter now.
really, Blake? Does that mean you accept that Stephen is a gay man? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't think it is. Or are you hoping that the coma has made him straight?
That's all behind us now. Welcome home, son.
Now we know that Dr. Nick has an agenda. We had the earlier scene with his sister when he said he came to pay Blake back, but we haven't had a hint of what's going on. Something to do with his younger brother who died and that Blake could have saved him but didn't. But now we get one of the best things about soap, one of my favourite things is the flashback. We get all grinding strings. So we get a bit more on the story of why he wants revenge on Blake. Although clearly this man hung himself, so we don't quite know what Blake could have done to save him, but clearly Dr. Nick does. And intends to hold Blake accountable. I know that most people would think that the biggest snob of the show is Alexis, and my word, she's a snob. We know that. I mean, when she meets Sammy Jo, she doesn't even tell her name. But I would argue a close, very close second is the wonderful Joseph. This is how he delivers the news that Krystle has a guest at the front gate. It's just a simple sentence, but he delivers it like he is clearly unimpressed that Krystle is connected to this person.
And at the front gate who says he wants to see you.
Who's it, Joseph?
His name is Frank Dean. He insists he's your brother-in-law.
So all special women should have a set of cars.
Every special woman should have a set of cars. A 2-seater and a 4-seater.
You know, special women deserve a set of cars. You know, the average woman deserves one and a rubbish woman deserves walking. And Fallon has this to say about Krystle's new gift.
Well, if you like your status symbol square, you've sure got it. Bye!
Jeff strides in to see his uncle Cecil because he's noticed that Blake's been cut out of a deal. He's very upset by this. But this is business, and business in Dynasty, as we know, is all about the facts.
Well, I don't have time for this, nor do you. What I want is for you to get me all the facts you can on Blake's football team.
And in all of the Manic Dream Pixie Bitch moments we've seen from Fallon, this has got to be up there. You can drop the bitch bit and just say Manic Dream. This is so surreal.
Little Dottie Dimples. Da 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 da, and that's it.
I'm not sure I even need to say anything more about this. So Cecil's got the upper hand on Blake and is clearly thoroughly enjoying himself because he gets all theatrical.
And so the two pirates part company as one stands alone on the plank.
In a pair of shorts that make those earlier shorts look like trousers, Miss Sammy Jo Tina arrives at the Carrington mansion and Joseph is very impressed.
Well, what do y'all do around here for kicks?
I suggest you ask your aunt when she returns.
Joseph, any chance of me getting a pizza?
Miss Dean, dinner is served precisely at 8 o'clock in the family dining room. I don't think pizza is on the menu. Duckling is. Oh. We dress for dinner.
This is the 80s, so those shorts may be really short on the leg, but they are really high on the waist. We get a 9-inch zipper. So if a girl is to wear teeny tiny shorts in the daytime, what does she wear at night? She wears this. That's got to be the best outfit for sliding down a banister.
Oh, I'm sorry. Aunt Krystle?
Who are you?
And that's got to be the best way to meet Alexis. Sammy Jo's trousers remind me of the ones that Olivia Newton-John wore in Grease. They are tight! The character of Sammy Jo has a case of verbal diarrhea. Alexis finds out all these juicy tidbits and is straight on to a private investigator. Then Miss Sammy Jo wanders off into the library and finds Stephen. and gives Stephen the lowdown on ice cream serving, on learning hair by mail, and a whole lot of flamming and jamming.
Especially the drafting and slingshotting, the carooming and flip-flopping, the framming and bamming. I kind of miss it already.
When Krystle says, "I hope you like it here," Miss Sammy Jo turns to Stephen, and gives him a look.
I know I'm gonna like it here.
Krystle, if you have any skeletons in your cupboard, Alexis is about to winkle them out.
The subject's name is Mrs. Blake Carrington, formerly known as Krystle Grant. I want to know everything about her. Everything.
I knew we weren't that ugly. I knew it.